The SEC has officially dropped yet another litigation attempt against another blockchain company. And in this video, I'm going to talk about everything they've dropped so far and what they've just dropped today, and then what they're going to be doing with the Ripple case, because I have a timeline that we need to be paying attention to. I also have some updates on the XRP ETFs, including a time frame for that as well, plus World Liberty Financial, of course, which is Donald Trump's organization, which is currently buying cryptocurrencies. I'm going to tell you which ones they've amassed within the past week, because they're probably something that you should pay attention to. Hey everyone, my name is Randy, and welcome back to the Late Night Grind. And right now on this channel, we are covering cryptocurrency news, investment markets, and personal finance. So if any or all those topics interest you, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and join the Late Night Grind community. If you do a couple things, I'd appreciate it. Smash the thumbs up button. Watch this video all the way to the end. If you do that, greatly appreciate it. All right, guys, let's jump into it. So before I get into what the SEC is officially doing, which is capitulating, making good, which is Donald Trump making good on his promise to change the war on crypto from the SEC, I did want to mention that if you trade any cryptocurrencies, make sure you do it on BidFi. They have great rates. There's a link in the description below. They are a partner of the Late Night Grind. You can trade altcoins there. You can trade Bitcoin there. Trade up to 200x leverage. You get deposit bonuses. You get cashback bonuses. You can even get a higher VIP if you contact me directly. You can do that through my link in the description below through X. You can buy trade XRP along with several others that I'm going to talk about in this video. Okay, so back to what the SEC just dropped. Earlier today, it was announced that the SEC is officially ending its litigation against Consensus. Now, this was an interesting one because Consensus, of course, is involved with the Ethereum ecosystem. And last year when it was announced that they were looking into it, it was kind of shocking because a lot of people had pretty much assumed that the SEC was in cahoots with Ethereum, the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance, Consensus, Andreessen Horowitz, you name it, in order to essentially make their dollars. This channel in particular was covering the SEC versus Ripple, and all of that stuff, all that corruption that was being exposed. Some of that had to do with Consensus. So when the SEC announced that they were looking into Consensus, it was a bit of a head scratcher, but nonetheless, they've officially dropped any actions that they were going to have against Consensus. Now, this just marks yet another one. In my video yesterday, I talked about the SEC dropping a case against Coinbase, against Kraken, against the DeFi protocol Uniswap, which is a big one specifically for Ripple, and I'll talk about that later in the video. But the one against Consensus made some big news, specifically on X. But I also noticed that they dropped their case against Robinhood Crypto. So it just seems like the Trump administration is really making good. The new head of the SEC and the chairman are making good and essentially ending the war on crypto. It seems to be official. So when is the case against Ripple going to be officially dropped? Well, Jeremy Hogan, who followed the SEC versus Ripple case very closely, he chimed in on X the other day and he said, listen, it seems to be like the first one in, last one out. This was the biggest case, of course, that the SEC was going after, and there are a lot of things going on with it. It was a much deeper, much more complex case than many of these others, so there's probably a lot more loose ends to tie up in terms of, because they were in the middle of an appeal. Who knows? But nonetheless, it seems to be just taking more time. And I can't fathom that they are not going to be dropping this. In fact, somebody said this might be the one that Donald Trump actually announces himself. Now, he is coming up to the podium supposedly in about a week or so. Some people were saying he might make that announcement personally himself regarding the SEC dropping the Ripple case. Others have said he'll probably just make a post on social media, but nonetheless, because it is such a big name case, he might be the one to want to drop that himself. But we'll have to see. At this point, any announcement on social media is going to go crazy. I believe XRP is going to go skyrocketing, but being this market that we're at right now, Bitcoin is close to the end of a huge sell-off, dropping about 25% from its all-time high. We'll actually have to see what altcoins, what XRP would do in that announcement, because if you look at all these other announcements that the SEC has been dropping, well, that's when crypto has been dropping as well. So it hasn't exactly been bullish news, although it is for the long term. It just may not be within a certain short time frame. Okay, so now I wanted to talk about the ETF, the XRP ETF, because there was a report that was put out and it gave a timeline for an XRP ETF approval. Now, there are a handful of XRP spot ETFs, I believe 6 or 7 of them, that are there right now. And once all of this is done, you'll probably have sweeping approvals for all of those ETFs, similar to what Bitcoin did the other year. So what we're looking at right now is specifically the Wisdom Tree ETF, the XRP ETF, is in a 21-day period that is open for public comment. Now the SEC can extend that by up to 90 days, and essentially this whole due diligence process could take up to 240 days for the decision to have to be made on the XRP ETF. So let me know in the comments section down below what you guys think in terms of a time frame. Is this going to be a quick decision? Is this going to be an end of the year type of thing? Will it miss the rest of the bull run? That's a possibility. But nonetheless, it is very bullish. And specifically talking about rumors on social media regarding Ripple, more ties to the Trump administration. They've been talking about Donald Trump, who's been meeting with world leaders recently, and he has been pushing crypto hard, supposedly. The other supposed rumor is that he has mentioned Ripple several times in these meetings. Again, these are just rumors. Obviously, there's no video. He hasn't come to the podium and discussed it, but those are the rumors floating around. Take it for what it's worth. And being the fact that Brad Garlinghouse was at Trump's inauguration, well, make that what you will. All right, and finally, I'm going to talk about what World Liberty Financial, Trump's organization, has been buying, the cryptocurrencies that they have been buying. For the past several weeks, they've actually been very heavy on Ethereum. In fact, Eric Trump tweeted out that you might want to get into Ethereum now. You'll thank me later. Personally, I think there's other ones that have a much higher upside, but nonetheless, that's the one that they are interested in. Now, the other two that they have purchased recently have been several $million-dollar purchases, and these two, from what I can see, there's a lot of people on social media that are very bullish about these two coins. Number one is Ondo, O-N-D-O, and the other one is Move, M-O-V-E. So they are all coins. You might want to check them out. I looked on World Liberty Financial's website. They do, in fact, hold millions of dollars worth of them. And some people are extremely bullish on them, especially Move. So it definitely could be one to keep an eye on. But let me know in the comment section down below if you hold those or if you're going to look into it. Because now that we have some great news on the SEC front, it's just a matter of a waiting game. We're going to talk about what Bitcoin could be doing. Hopefully we'll be seeing a reversal soon. It looks like as of today, it did a double bottom on a key trendline resistance. So we could be seeing a push back up to 90,000, but there's going to be more resistance at that level. Once all the liquidity is gone, we're going to have to see if they can push through or if we're going to see another drawback. All right, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end, for smashing that thumbs up button. And as always, I'll see you guys on the next video.
Institution. Lambo dreams fueled by them crypto stacks. Future in our hands, we ain't looking back. XRP to the moon, watch them rise and shine. Blockchain revolution, now it's our time. Digital renaissance, we breaking all the chains. Crypto cosmos calling, no more limits, no restraints. Hodl gang strong, through the market storm. Crypto winners past, now we staying warm. Infinite potential, it's a brand new norm. Blockchain foundation, watch the world transform. In the shadows we emerge, now we taking flight. XRP warriors ready for the fight. Digital dynasties, the future looking bright.